Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Right now, if you please excuse me for a moment, I'm trying to get a little bit of housekeeping on the way. Make sure the chat works and stuff. The normal maintenance. Sorry about the alert there. For once, it actually told me I went live. Yay! YouTube actually notified me that I went live for once. But anyways, let me get this out of the way. And all right, it appears that we are kind of functioning-ish. Let's see. I guess tonight as you saw, we got some more of the Rings news and stuff like that. That might be interesting to go over. Some other movie news, which actually means something to me, and probably a few others. So I guess we will. But before we do that, I guess we'll hop into some of the greetings, old men. And I'm glad to see that the wrench actually works. But there's other maintenance I need to do since you're here, because I was just going to fly by wire. Okay, so first we're going to go over this other article, which still counts as entertainment news, and it's kind of funny to me to watch this burn. So here we go. Please tell me that transitioned over. I hope it did. We'll find out in a moment, I guess. Anyways, now this one's on Bounding into Comics. Spencer Cooley wrote it. Warner Brothers Discovery and Paramount sell the CW. New majority owners seek to turn network around after admitting it is not profitable and operates at an ongoing loss. Yeah. Now, well, be careful with your little misshapen Mjolnir. By the way, while you're here, how do you like the smaller window up there? I mean, is that working out? And it looks like it's actually showing chat pretty well, as I saw where it popped up on the little doohickey. All right. I am looking slightly more functional. Anyways, in the latest shakeup made as part of CEO David Zaslav's attempt to right the company's production shift, Warner Brothers Discovery and their partner Paramount Global have reached an agreement to sell a majority stake in their co-owned network, the CW, to Nexstar Media Group, who will seek to turn it profitable after years of it operating in an ongoing loss. Now, yeah, basically what they had going for them that I watched before I stopped watching was you had Flash season 1 and 2. I watched that. I know people wanted me to watch Supernatural. I never got into it. I probably should have. But generally speaking, I had no real purpose for the CW. So all their shows became feelings in hallways, feelings in coffee shops, feelings in fields, feelings here, feelings there, and very minuscule amounts of action that started to look more and more cheap. Whatever even though their budget kept going higher and higher, it made it started to make some of the extremely low budget stuff on Sci-Fi Channel look like they were produced by Spielberg or George Lucas or any number of others. As an announcement on August 15th, Nexstar Media Group has entered a deal to purchase 75% stake in the Arrowverse home from its current owner, both of whom will retain a 12.5% interest in the network and continue to produce scripted content for its airwaves through 2023, at which time the three entities will discuss the possibility of extending the terms of their agreement. Well, latest I heard, Flash is going into its final season because ratings are dead, but they've been dead for years. I mean, like I said before, I watched the first two seasons of Flash. After that, I tried season 3. It just went downhill too much. The largest owner of local television stations in the United States, 197 in total, Nexstar Media Group, also serves as a partial owner, 31% of fellow television broadcast networks, the Food Network and the Cooking Channel, as well as the parent company of political news outlet The Hill. During a recent conference call regarding the company's newly announced purchase, Nexstar Media Group CFO Lee Ann, I really apologize. I am not going to butcher that name. I am absolutely terrible. Please forgive me, whoever you are. For the various Wall Street analysts who were in attendance, that their goal for the CW was to have it turn a profit by 2025. Yeah. Good luck with that. I mean, you really don't have much going for you. You had Flash went downhill. You had Arrow, they killed off because, down and out. You had Supergirl, which I never watched that one, but I didn't hear too much good about it. You had Batwoman, which was an unmitigated disaster. You had Superman and Lois was the one I hear was actually good, but I'm sure that took a death spiral as soon as they could. It's just, I hate when it lags like this. It's just I don't know what they're gonna do with that. How they're gonna make it profitable at all with the product, with the current shows that they're running and stuff like that. It's just the quality of the content is not there. So kind of sucks for them, but hopefully they can make things better. Let's see. Do I want to go over anything else on this particular? Well, I can go over this. Yeesh. Okay. We have another one on Bounty in the Comics. This is from August 17th by John F. Trent. Ismael Cruz Cordova promotes The Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power, with identity politics. There will no longer be a time where you can say there are no elves of color. And that's just how many more red flags do they need to throw up to say, hey, we're going to shove agenda into this that, instead of focus on story, instead of focus on good writing. We want to make sure that we put as much of our politics and the message, as the Critical Drinker puts it, into each and every series they can get their claws into. Cordova spoke with the Associated Press, where he told the outlet there will no longer be a we saw that. So we erased that one, He added, this conversation will never be there. No, I'm an elf. The next person that comes after me won't have to talk about this. That's what it means to me. I always say that if you can see it, you can imagine it. then if you can imagine it, you can create it. You haven't created anything. I'm sure you're a fine actor. I'm sure this, I hope it works out, but there, is that the only thing about you that matters to even you is what you look like and what you think as far as how to virtue signal in your politics? Is that all that matters? Is that all that makes you up? Good Lord. So like, hell, on here they put the Oxford Dictionary's definition of imagination: the faculty or action of forming new ideas or images or concepts of external objects not present to the senses. She'd never been blessed with a vivid imagination. Similar, the ability of the mind to be creative or resourceful. Technology gives workers the chance to use their imagination. Then you have another similar part of the mind that imagines things. A girl who existed only in my imagination. This is a fact that Cordova himself does indeed know, as he wrote of this entire line of faulty logic he's now engaging in. In a previous interview about the series, he told Entertainment Weekly that he wanted to be an elf since he said wanted to be an elf since I was a little kid. In fact, EW details that Cordova recalled pretending to be an elf and using an imaginary bow. Bullshit. Sorry. EW's Devin Cogan? You know what? I'm butchering your name, and I'm sorry. Wrote, the Puerto Rican actor says he wasn't an elf since he was a kid. So clearly he didn't need to see something in order to imagine it. Bizarre that he's now claiming in order to imagine something you have to see it. It's almost like he's been told to push the identity politics to promote the show, which looks like an utter disaster from the outset. It doesn't feel like Lord of the Rings. The images that they've given just... Some of them are great. Okay, I really do hope this show turns out really good. I'll be doing streams right after it, right after each premiere, about a half hour to an hour afterwards. I'm going to be doing live streams, more than likely with a friend of mine. We will be doing non-spoiler reviews on the night of, and probably the next night or the following, although it may be Monday before I do it, considering the premiere and the fact of the next article. I'll be doing a spoiler review, hopefully with him as well. But it's like all these people care about is, oh, this is what I look like. Look at me. This is what I look like. This is all that I am. Is there nothing more to you? Do you have no depth? I'm serious. Is all that defines you is what you see when you look in the mirror? Good heavens. It's kind of sad. I feel bad for the guy if that is actually his way of thinking, but I'm hoping it's just that Amazon's trying to push him like this, because that's a sad existence if all that matters is, oh, this is my appearance. I'm this, that, or the other. Or I sleep with this person or that person or this, that. It's just depressing. How could a person live like that? But, that's the world we live in now. And if I remember correctly, Foodie, it's we're older than this gentleman. That's just depressing. That's really depressing. So, all right, we're going to get to the one that I kind of hinted at when we were on the phone. Embracer Group acquires IP rights to Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. Wait, no, I don't want to see your other articles. Burn, deadline, burn. Sorry, it's 18th, Zach. I can't pronounce Zach. Intim. we'll go with that. Mr. Zach. We'll just call you Zach. All right, Swedish video game company Embracer Group has acquired Middle-earth Enterprises, a division of the it's this company. Okay, I am so sorry. They're Swedish. The Meatball Company. Okay, we're going to go to the Meatball Company because I can't pronounce that. And I'm not going to keep trying to butcher it. Please forgive me, Mr. Meatball Company, but I just can't do it. I would try. I can pronounce things if I ever hear them, but that's just the way my wiring works. I actually have to hear a name, whatever, to be able to pronounce the name for the most part. I can't just read it and say it but anyways, the Meatball Company, which owns the intellectual property catalog and worldwide rights to the Lord of the Rings trilogy and The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. Oh, crud. Thank you for reminding me that I am complete crap. So, here we go. Yeah, it's on deadline. Wow. Good job. I'm a professional live streamer here. Anyways, yeah, can you pronounce this name? the Meatball Company here? I hope you can, because I sure as hell can't. Anyways, the financial terms of the acquisition were not disclosed, but the deal means Embracer Group will pick up the motion picture, video game, board game, merchandising, theme parks, and stage production rights relating to the Lord of the Rings. Related to the Lord of the Rings and Hobbit franchises, as well as matching rights in other Middle-earth related literary works authorized by the Tolkien estate and HarperCollins, which have yet to be explored. I am truly excited to have Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, one of the world's most epic fantasy franchises, join the Embracer family, opening up more transmedia opportunities, including synergies across our global group, said Lars Wingeford? Lars. We're just going to call you Lars. Founder and Group CEO, Embracer Group. Man, that's a mouthful. I am thrilled to see what lies in the future for this IP with free mode and Asmodee, I guess. Sorry. As a start within the group going forward, we also look forward to collaborating with both existing and new external licensees of our increasingly stronger IP portfolio. As part of the deal, Middle-earth Enterprises will form part of the newly founded operative group Embracer Freemode. The company will continue to operate independently under the existing Middle-earth Enterprises leadership team. And statement, Marty Glick, yes, I've heard that name before, COO of the Meatball Company, said, sorry, I have to keep saying that, said, we at the second Meatball Company have, I can't pronounce this, sorry, I'm crap. uh, have had the honor over the past half century of stewarding the Tolkien rights so that Lord of the Rings and Hobbit fans worldwide could enjoy award-winning epic films, challenging video games, first-rate theater, and merchandise of every variety. We could not be more thrilled that it is Embracer now taking up the responsibility, and we are confident their group will take it to new heights and dimensions while maintaining homage, but to, however you want to pronounce it, to the spirit of these great literary works. Embracer Operative Group, Asmodee Group, has a long-standing relationship with Tolkien IP, having published the Lord of the Rings board game over 20 years ago, as well as producing the Lord of the Rings the card game. I wonder if that's the same one they put on Xbox, because that was fun. I missed that one. It just sucked that whenever the content got cut off. I had a lot of fun playing that one. Key upcoming works set in Middle-earth, in which Middle-earth Enterprises has financial interest, include Amazon's highly anticipated Lord of the Rings series, Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power, which debuts September 2nd, 2022, as well as the Warner Brothers animated movie, Lord of the Rings, The War of the Rohirrim, set for release in 2024, and the EA mobile game, Lord of the Rings, Heroes of Middle-earth. Skaden, Slate, Meager, and Flom, holy crap, what a name, LLP, acted as legal advisor to Embracer Group. Arnold and Porter acted as legal advisor, and ACF investment banker acted as investment banker to the Meatball Company. So basically, though Amazon got the rights to use the appendices of Lord of the Rings, basically this Embracer Group now holds them by the short hair. So if they choke, these people could pull the rug out from under them, and you're going to watch billions of dollars evaporate on Amazon's end. Neat. But I actually want to, let's see if I can click and yes, there was a, you know what, I'll see if I can pull it out real quick. I was hoping that was going to take me to Embracer Group. Of course, then you got comic book publisher, producer, Dark Horse Media sold to Embracer Group of Sweden. Huh. That was December 21st of 2021. You know what? Let me see if I can pull up that animated Lord of the Rings, because it's not the original animated one. It's although the originals, I enjoyed them. Some people didn't, but I enjoyed the original animated Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. Those were good. If you ever get a chance to sit down and watch them, old man, I recommend highly to do it. They're great for their time. But we're going to look up, like I said, the no, we're going to look up to the Lord of the Rings. War of the Rohirrim, I believe, is the name of it. Yeah, let's see if I can pull this up. I guess we'll have to do it through this site, although please forgive me for it. It's an older article. It's from February 14th, but it will show you what they're doing. Of course, it's unfortunately Variety by Adam B. Very what? Anyways, of course, it could be Bray. And Barry is what I'm going with, because if you just change the B to a G, you got Gary. Oh, good. I'm glad you saw the original. And the original Lord of the Rings, you don't get much better than that. Is the chat still popping up? Yeah, it is. Hot dog. I was just making sure my little chat window was still working. Sorry about that. Well, yeah, Lord of the Rings, The War of the Rohirrim anime feature set for April 2024, released by Warner Brothers. Lord of the Rings, The War of the Rohirrim, the original anime from New Line Cinema and Warner Brothers Animation, is set for, which, before I go any further, as much crap as I could give Warner Brothers for their live action stuff, a lot of their animated stuff is on point. I mean, you have some of the best Batman stuff they've ever done. It has all been animated. So we'll go with this. Except for a release on April 12th, 2024 from Warner Brothers Pictures. Variety can report, so I'll have HBO Max again by then. Versus set roughly 2 centuries before the events of J.R.R. Tolkien's The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings, The War of the Rohirrim will explore the exploits of Helm Hammerhand, the King of Rohan, and the creation of Helm's Deep, the stronghold featured in Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers. I know Kenji, I am so sorry I cannot pronounce your last name. Please forgive me. The TV series Blade Runner Black Lotus and Ghost in the Shell standalone complex. That's where I knew the name from. Oh, we got a chance of this actually being good. It is directing with Blade Runner Black Lotus producer Joseph Cho, or I hope I'm pronouncing that right, through his anime studio Sola Entertainment, which has been working on the film since it was announced in June 2021. As can be seen in the exclusive first look at conceptual art from the film, The War of the Rohirrim is also drawing much of its creative DNA from Jackson's 6 features set in Middle-earth. Philippa Bowens, I hope I'm done, who was part of the Oscar-winning screenwriting team for The Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit trilogies, is executive producing the film. Phoebe Gittin? Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about these names. I just can't do it. And writing partner, Artie Papa Giorgio? Hey, what? We're not going to go into that. That was I think that was the name that I heard in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. So, are penning the screenplay based on a script from Jeffrey Addis and Will Matthews, and the creative team includes Richard Taylor, who won Oscars for makeup and visual effects for The Lord of the Rings, Alan Lee, who won an Oscar for art direction for Lord of the Rings, and Tolkien illustrator John Howe. Damn, this is going to be good. If you've got those guys and they're letting them cut loose. Voice cast announcements are expected soon. I'm in awe of the creative talent who have come together to bring this epic, heart-pounding story to life, from the mastery of Kenji, I'm sorry again, to the truly stellar cast. Boyne says, okay, I'm really sorry about the names. The Lord of the Rings films took Tolkien's masterwork to new cinematic heights and inspired a generation said Warner Brothers Picture Group Chairman Toby Emmerich. Yeah, you're no longer there, if I remember correctly. You might be, but I think you were canned. I hope that doesn't mean that they're going to can this. Oh, yes, it was in Vegas Vacation. Yeah, that was what Griswold's son went as. He was Papa Giorgio, and he was using that for the cash. So he was using that fake ID so he could get the. That's how he got the cars and stuff. Okay. It's a gift to be able to revisit Middle Earth with many of the same creative visionaries and the talented. This will be an epic portrayal unlike anything audiences have ever seen. Warner Brothers' movement on the anime Lord of the Rings film comes at a time when the studio is in dispute with the Meatball Company, the longtime owner of Lord of the Rings film and TV rights, over whether Warner Brothers has done enough development on the franchise to maintain its hold on live action and animated film rights. Variety reported last week that Zensko is putting its Tolkien holdings on the block, which spurred questions about Lord of the Rings activity within Warner Brothers. The last live-action Tolkien film, 2014's The Hobbit: The Battle of the Five Armies, grossed $940 million worldwide. All 6 films have earned over $5.8 billion. The Lord of the Rings: Return to King won 11 Oscars, including Best Picture, tying the record for a single movie. The War of the Rohirrim is also totally separate from Amazon Prime Video's Middle-earth series, Lord of the Rings of Power, which is set millennia before the events of Jackson's movies. Cynthia Littleton. All right. Correction. The story has been updated to reflect the correct release date for the War of the Rohirrim. Okay. Well, I figured that was nice to look into. So I hope that didn't get killed off by Zaslav, because that looks far better than just little images, little concept art. Already looks far better than what Amazon is peddling right now. I'm sorry. I'm trying to be positive about it, but it really looks a hell of a lot better. Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to this. I can't say that I'm looking forward to the Rings of Power as much. I know that sounds bad, but it's just the way it is. I mean, it looks a whole lot better than the Rings of Power. Oh, and there was another thing. I believe there was a Lord of the Rings game that was announced recently. Please hold on a second. Let's see. I know Embracer got it. So that's what I was after. There was some game that yeah, as much as I hate to do it, I have to do this. Not my personal favorite, but site at all, but we'll have to do it because it's the only one that has the article I'm looking for. This is on The Verge. On The Verge, it's this article came out on the 15th about Jay Peters. A new Lord of the Rings game is in the works from Weta Workshop. Take-Two's private division is partnering with Weta on the project. Weta Workshop, which worked on Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings movie trilogy, is developing a new video game set in the Middle-earth universe from J.R. Tolkien's books. There aren't many details about this new game just yet, though it sounds as if Weta could have a large well of material to choose from. Middle-earth Enterprises have licensed the literary works of the series, providing Weta Workshop with the broadest creative license to interpret the underlying lore of the books, according to a press release. Weta's game division is partnering with Take-Two publishing label Private Division on the upcoming title. There's no announced release date, though. The game is expected to launch in Take-Two's 2024 fiscal year, which runs from April 2023 to March 2024. This new game joins a few other Lord of the Rings adaptations that are on the way. Amazon's Lord of the Rings Rings of Power TV series is just around the corner, though a new Lord of the Rings video game starring Gollum will no longer be launching alongside the show following a recent delay, and EA is developing free-to-play Lord of the Rings mobile game. No thank you. Sorry, I'm kind of crapped out on mobile games. The Lord of the Rings Heroes of Middle-earth, which has begun testing. So we may have another decent game coming up, and that wouldn't hurt my feelings. Take-Two is not really that bad of a company, so hopefully that'll pan out. Let's see. All right. Now we're going to get to a little bit of other news. Let me get this to load before I cut it over. And please excuse me, I got to take a drink. I'm getting a little dried out. All right. Get this kicked back over. Now this is on Bleeding Cool, so yeah. Jaws is being released in IMAX for the first time. You got the trailer, which I might get a copyright claim on my thing if I show the trailer, but I'm sure you've watched. It's easy enough to look up. It's all over on YouTube. You can find it. Jaws, the Spielberg classic that revolutionized summer movie releases and is one of the best films ever made, is getting re-released in IMAX for the first time ever on September 2nd. It will also be available to watch in RealD 3D. This is the type of event that I can get behind. It feels like this current generation does not really have a grasp of how important this film is. Universal will also be releasing E.T. on August 12th, which sucks that I missed seeing that, but I think you can still go see it for a little bit. This next week, but this is the main event. Below the trailer for the IMAX release, and you can already purchase tickets for screenings by you right now. But right here, I cannot stress how much you should go. I'll go see it, which I am definitely going to go see it. Universal is honored to have been a part of so many extraordinary, unforgettable Steven Spielberg films over the past 47 years, including Jaws in 1975, E.T. in 1982, and Jurassic Park in 1993, which I remember seeing that in theater. That was awesome, said Jim Orr, president of domestic theatrical distribution for Universal Pictures. No filmmaker, it's fair to say, has had a greater or more enduring impact on American cinema, or has created more indelible cinematic memories for tens of billions of people worldwide. We couldn't think of a more perfect way to celebrate the anniversary of E.T. and the first Universal Spielberg summer blockbuster, Jaws, than to allow audiences to experience these films in the way they've never been able to before. Now, here's the thing. With Jaws and everything, I was seeing a thing the other day, and they were going over some of the more interesting stuff with Jaws. I wish I could find the picture again, um, but it's too late for me to look that up. There's this picture that you've had for basically since the movie came out. That was kind of a promotional picture, but they also ended up in National Geographic and other things because at the time you didn't have anything like Shark Week, so you had very little images of sharks doing their thing in the water. And you have this scene that is used in the movie where you see the shark swimming at the camera underwater, okay, with its mouth open. Well, that was an actual shark, and it was filmed in a way where the camera guy, this wish I could remember his name, this crazy sucker, he leaned off the back of his boat, the boat he was on, upside down with his head underwater, holding the camera to get the picture of the shark swimming at him with the mouth open. And that picture was blown up all over the place for decades. Then you have, he's like, they talk about being a summer blockbuster. That's because it's one of the first, and probably the first, because at that time period, movies, whenever they were released, it was when your big releases was closer to Thanksgiving and Christmas. That was whenever all your big releases were. You didn't have them for the summer. It was then. During the summer, you would usually get like a few kids movies and some B-rate movies, but you wouldn't really get the big blockbusters. So, I mean, my mom was talking about it, and she kind of grew up in the theater because my grandfather ran one. And so you can kind of thank Jaws for making summer movies hit, because right after Jaws in '77 you had Star Wars. Then it just continued to go. It continued to grow as far as your summer movies. I mean, it's like if you look at the old trailers and stuff, you'll see where most of the movies that people really like to bring up, they're advertised this Thanksgiving or this Christmas instead of instead of July or something. So, but the trailer is nice. That they have. Oh man, you may want to look it up. I kind of don't want to take the copyright claim on this one, even though it would be worth it. I kind of don't really want to do that. Let's see. Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's sad. I'm more excited about going to see these older movies, which were great movies, than I am about going to see anything new. I mean, the last technically new thing I saw in theater was Joker. And that was a good movie. I thoroughly enjoyed that movie. It's not for everyone, but it was one for me. It was one that I liked because I didn't go in with the mindset of this is a superhero or a super villain movie. It's not at all. It was a good movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it, but that was the last movie I saw in a theater. I was kind of ticked off whenever I missed out on seeing Back to the Future in the theater or over at the Symphony. Kind of, but you know, I'm more excited about the re-releases of things like this, or like here, you got Star Trek celebrates the Wrath of Khan 40th anniversary with the Summer of Sweet Revenge. Oh God, late '70s, even '80s had good movies, and there was some in the '90s that were really big, but yeah, '70s and early '80s. I mean, you had the Indiana Jones movies to go with Star Wars, and you had Jaws. You had, of course, then you got '80s with E.T. and stuff like that. Then, good Lord, just imagine being able to go back in time and watch, say, Terminator or Predator when they were released. Or, ooh, there is one thing I am looking for. I am desperately hoping it hits the theater again. I want to see Alien, not Aliens. I want to see the original Alien in the theater. I want to see that on the big screen. Aliens is good. I'd still go see that one, but I want to see the original Alien on the big screen. That would just I would go out of my way to do that one. But then you got like this. You have this is on Collider. This was back in June. The article was released on this, but it doesn't really matter because we get the. I'm going to watch it this at the theater near me, YouTube, on this Labor Day weekend. You have Star Trek celebrates the Wrath of Khan 40th anniversary with Summer of Sweet Revenge. Star Trek has teamed up with Funko and Fathom Films to roll out an impressive slate of activities and celebrations. This summer, Star Trek is commemorating 40th anniversary of Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan, and Collider is excited to exclusively reveal everything you need to know about the Summer of Sweet Revenge. While Khan's wrath might not immediately conjure up images of sweet treats and summer fun, Gene Roddenberry's iconic franchise is going where no one has gone before to honor this momentous occasion with custom sweets, screenings of The Wrath of Khan in select cities, and more Khan-inspired collectibles than you've ever seen before. The Wrath of Khan will celebrate its Big 4-0 on June 4th, but that's only the beginning of the months-long celebration that is sure to delight longtime Star Trek fans and newcomers alike. The Wrath of Khan has become one of Star Trek's most iconic films, in part because of Ricardo Montalban's portrayal of Khan Noonien Soon. I know it says Sing, but for some God knows reason, it's pronounced Soon and other things. We'll go with Sing, even though Soon. That's one thing that's confused me over time, which has been often imitated but never duplicated. The film has been referenced in series like Seinfeld, South Park, Big Bang Theory, and even Saturday Night Live. So it seems only right that the Star Trek franchise group has teamed up with major brands like Funko and Fathom Films to roll out an impressive slate of activities and celebrations running from today until September 8th. Earlier this week, the Star Trek shop launched a campaign to get Trekkies to vote on whether Funko should exhibit the Battle Ready Khan or Post-Battle Khan, with the winning limited edition Khan Funko going up for pre-order on June 6th. These Funkos aren't the only limited edition treat being announced. On June 4th, as lucky fans located in New York City or Los Angeles will be able to head into the city to buy limited editing Wrath of Pecan ice cream sandwiches from the woman-owned ice cream brand Cool House, I guess. Yeah, I hope I pronounced it right. Yes, you read that right. In New York City, you'll be able to find the film-inspired wrapped truck in Soho at Prince and Green Street on June 4th. And in Los Angeles, on July 17th, you'll find it parked in Santa Monica at 2nd Street and Santa Monica Boulevard. If you're not in New York City or Los Angeles, but headed to San Diego Comic-Con in July, you'll be able to beat the summer heat with this celebratory treat while basking in one of the biggest conventions in the galaxy. Yeah, Comic-Con was a hit and miss on some of the stuff they released. Paramount Home Entertainment has partnered with Fathom Events to host over 2,500 fan screenings around the country during a 3-day TCM Big Screen Classic event on September 4th, 5th, and 8th. Fans will be able to go to the Fathom Events website and to find screenings closest to them. And if they aren't located near one of the screens, they will still be able to celebrate from the comfort of their homes with specially curated revenge-themed viewing selection on Paramount Plus starting on June 4th. The streaming service will have an easy-to-navigate carousel of con-centric episodes. Well, there was one episode in the original series and one movie. Along with watch guides that will be published on official social channels, considering his main appearances were in the film, the original series episode entitled Space Seed, and the Ephraim and Dot Short Treks episode. It will be interesting to see which episodes will end up on the list, especially with the recent episode of Star Trek Strange New Worlds, which centered around Khan's distant relation. This other Noonien soon, or thing, however you want to put it. And the Khan project mentioned in the finale of Star Trek Picard, because they're just grasping at straws for anybody to want to try to stomach that. That shows a pill, and it's made me somehow it has made me hate that character. I used to like Jean-Luc Picard. I really, really have hit that point. I hate Jean-Luc Picard. I can't even stand to watch Next Generation anymore because what they've done to that character. It's just that bad. And it's not so much that, it's also the word, it's also the statements that have been coming out of these actors. It's just, come on, you're not helping anything. You're shooting things in the foot. Prepare your best impressions of William Shatner shouting Khan, and get ready for the Summer of Sweet Revenge. If you're a little overwhelmed by all of these fantastic pop-ups and activities, you can head over to the Wrath of the Khan website and learn everything you need to know about the anniversary celebrations. Check out the groovy event poster below. I mean, it's now. I know that we discussed it, and I'm gonna see if I can get the pull up real quick. And let's see if I can get the see if I can get the search to go on this. There we go. Because we're going to use Wikipedia on this, and I'm sorry about that. But it is important to go over a very talented actor that just without him, I mean, it would have. He had such a personality on screen, and whenever he was in Wrath of Khan, he was just absolutely awesome. I mean, of all the actors in that movie, not taking away from the others, but the guy just dominated the screen every time he was on it. So, Ricardo Gonzalo Pedro Montalban. I cannot pronounce the last part because it doesn't give me that. Born November 25th, 1920, and died January 14th, 2009, was a Mexican film and television actor. Montalban's career spanned 7 decades, during which he became known for performances in a variety of genres, from crime and drama to musicals and comedy. He portrayed Armando in the Planet of the Apes film series from the early 1970s, starring in both Escape from the Planet of the Apes and Conquest of the Planet of the Apes in 1972. Played as the villain Khan Soon, a genetically enhanced human. He starred in both the original Star Trek television series in 1967 and the film Star Trek II Wrath of Khan in 1982. Montalban played Mr. Rourke on the television series Fantasy Island from 1977 to 1984. He won an Emmy Award for his role in the miniseries How the West Was Won in 1978, and a Lifetime Achievement Award from the Screen Actors Guild in 1993. Montalban was professionally active into his 80s when he provided voices for animated films and commercials and appeared as Grandfather Valentine in the Spy Kids franchise. During the 1970s and 80s, he was a spokesman in automobile advertising for Chrysler, including those which he extolled the rich Corinthian leather used for the Cordoba's interior. Montalban, who was born November 25th, 1920 in Mexico City, grew up in... I can't pronounce it, sorry. Maybe that didn't help translate it either. Neat, though. The son of Spanish immigrants, Ricardo Moreno, I cannot pronounce the name there, and Gennaro Balbino. Montalban's son? Yeah. A store manager who raised him as a Catholic. He was born with an atrial malformation in the spine. Montalban had a sister, Carmen, and 2 brothers, Pedro and Carlos. As a teenager, he moved to Los Angeles to live with Carlos. They moved to New York in 1940, and Montalban earned a minor role in the play Her Cardboard Lover. In short films in 1941, Montalban appeared in 3-minute musicals produced for Soundies film jukeboxes. He appeared in many of the New York produced Soundies as an extra or as a member of the singing chorus, usually billed as men and maids of melody, although he had the lead role in He's a Latin from Staten Island in 1941, in which he billed simply as Ricardo. Played the title role of a guitar-strumming gigolo, accompanied by an off-screen vocal by Gus Van. Mexican films. Late in 1941, Montalban returned to Mexico after learning that his mother was dying. There he acted in a dozen Spanish-language films and became a star in his homeland. He had an uncredited appearance in a version of The Three Musketeers in 1942, starring I cannot pronounce that name. I am so sorry. He can be glimpsed in El Verdugo de Sevilla in 1942, The Saint That Forged the Country in 1942, starring Ramon Navarro and the Rajon de la... I can't pronounce that. I can't keep butchering names. Please forgive me. Stardom in Mexico. Montalban became a star in Mexico in Santa 1943, which was directed by a Hollywood expat, Norman Foster. He followed it with a support role in another one I can't pronounce. I am so sorry. Some American filmmakers shot a movie in Mexico about Yugoslavia in World War II. 5 were chosen. Montalban had a support role. Foster gave him a second lead role in The Escape in 1944, aka La Fuga, I guess. Montalban had a star role in another one that I can't pronounce. I'm sorry. 1945, Nostros. Also 1945, The Hour of Truth. 1945, the latter of a bullfighting drama, also directed by Foster. Montalban was in The House of the Fox. A couple. Then you got Fantasia Ventura. Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer. Montalban's films had been seen by Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, who were looking for someone to play a bullfighter opposite Esther Williams in Fiesta. 1947, shot in Mexico. Montalban was cast as, and the movie was very popular. Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer signed him to a long-term contract. Okay. The studio reteamed him with Williams and On an Island with You. He had a dance number in the Frank Sinatra musical The Kissing Bandit. Then did a third film, Neptune's Daughter, in 1949, which they do it is on Baby It's Cold Outside. Montalban's first leading role was in the film noir Border Incident with actor George Murphy, directed by Anthony Mann, or Mann, however you want to put it. It was one of a number of lower budgeted films made in the studio under Doris Shari and earned a small loss. Montalban was the first Hispanic actor to appear on the front cover of Life magazine on November 21st, 1949. I was king for a week, he said later. I thought the offers would flood in, but after a week, nothing. Montalban was one of several soldiers in the William Wellman war film Battleground, 1949. A huge success at the box office, he was given another star role in Mystery Street, 1950, playing detective in film noir directed by John Sturges. It was a box office disappointment. Sturges also directed Right Cross with Montalban, Dick Powell, and June Allison. Montalban and Jane Powell made the musical 2 Weeks with Love, which was a minor hit. Universal borrowed Montalban and Sid Charisse. Ooh, goodness. Sorry. She was one skilled dancer, tap dancer. I mean, she's just absolutely awesome. I believe it was her in American in Paris with Gene Kelly. Anyways, for a swashbuckler, The Mark of the Renegade, 1951. Back to Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, he was second billed to Clark Gable in Across the Wild Missouri. The studio teamed him with Shelley Winters in My Man and I, 1952, where he played a laborer under the direction of Wellman, it was a big flop. Montalban was one of several names in Sombrero, 1953, shot in Mexico. Montalban was Lana Turner's leading man in Latin Lovers. You know, before we go any further, I'm sorry. Yeah, people can talk about the modern actresses and stuff, but actresses from back then had more class, the way they looked and everything, the way they presented themselves. They left some mysteries there, and instead of being this side of being on the hub or something with some of these modern ones, with how much they're willing to show. Both films lost money, and Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer let him go. He later said, "I played caricatures of what a Latin is supposed to be like. In reality, we are family men. I should have had the courage of Dolores Del Rio, damn, who returned to Mexico and made her best movies there. Yeah, B movies, television, and Broadway. Montalban did a swashbuckler for Sam Katzman, the sheriff. I can't pronounce that blade. Then returned to Mexico to star in Untouched in 1954. He traveled to Italy to make The Queen of Babylon with Rhonda Fleming. Okay. Then returned to Mexico to make the U.S. financed A Life in the Balance, 1955, with Annie Bancroft. He bought a story for himself, Green Shadows, but it appears to have not been made. Montalban began working in television, guest starring on shows such as General Electric Theater, Ford Television Theater, Celebrity Playhouse, Climax, 20th Century Fox Hour, versions of Broken Arrow and Five Fingers, Chevron Hall of Stars, Wagon Train, and Schlitz Playhouse. In 1955, he appeared on Broadway in Seventh Heaven with Gloria DeHaven, but it ran for only 44 performances. In Hollywood, he appeared in the thriller for Allied Artists, 3 for Jamie Dawn. Montalban returned to Italy for Desert Warrior, then had his first role in an A Hollywood film for a number of years in I can't pronounce that. I'm really sorry. In which he played a Japanese dancer. He later said, "I was and still am very pleased with my performance and very much saddened by this picture. I was hoping for an Academy Award nomination, but unfortunately, most of my scenes ended up on the cutting room floor." From 57 to 59, Montalban starred in the Broadway musical Jamaica, singing several lighthearted calypso numbers opposite Lena Horne, holy hell, which ran for 555 performances. His performance earned him a Tony Award nomination. Montalban continued to guest star on shows such as Colgate Theater and Playhouse 90. When Jamaica ended, he guest starred in Riverboat, Adventures in Paradise, Startime, Death Valley Days. That was an awesome show, if you ever get a chance to look it up. Bonanza, Alfred Hitchcock Presents, another awesome one that I have the entire series on DVD and digital. The Christophers, Dina Shore, Chevy Show, Loretta Young several times, Zorro, The Untouchables, Checkmate, King's 100, Lloyd Bridges Show. Montalban could also be seen in Let No Man Write My Epitaph, the TV remake of Rashomon, directed by Sidney Lumet, Rage of the Buccaneers, 1961, an Italian swashbuckler in which Montalban had the lead role alongside Vincent Price, Hemingway's adventure of a young man, The Reluctant Saint, Maximilian Schell, and Love is a Ball, 1963, with Glenn Ford playing a French duke. He was the Native American leader, Little Wolf, in Cheyenne Autumn. In 1964, directed by John Ford, did the TV version of The Fantastics and returned to Mexico to make Buenos Noches. I know, I can't pronounce the rest of that. He was mostly seen, though, on television in Alcoa Premiere, the Dick Powell Theater, Ben Casey, Greatest Show on Earth, The Lieutenant, The Great Adventure, Flatty's People, The Defenders, The Rogues, Burke's Law, Dr. Kildare, and The Man from U.N.C.L.E. Yay! The original, not the movie. No offense to the people that made that remake. Montalban had supporting roles in The Money Trap, with Ford directed Burt Kennedy, Madam X, with Turner for the producer Ross Hunter, and The Singing Nun, with Debbie Reynolds at MGM. He guest starred in The Long Hot Summer, Daniel Boone, The Wild Wild West, Insight, Combat, Mission Impossible, I Spy, Hawaii Five-0, playing a Japanese American crime boss, and the Bob Hope Presents the Chrysler Theater. In 1965, he toured in The King and I think every actor loves this stage, he said in 91. The pros are that it is the actor's medium. There's no way your scene is going to end up on the cutting room floor, and it's up to you to get it and keep the attention of the audience by the truth of your performance. He appeared in the TV series. He appeared in the TV movie Alice Through the Looking Glass in '66, for which his fee was $10,000, equivalent to $84,000 today. And code name, I cannot pronounce that one. I'm sorry. And feature The Longest 100 Miles, Sol Madrid, and Blue. He also guest starred on Space Seed, an episode of Star Trek. I'm like a doctor on 24-hour call, he said in 1967. I don't turn anything down. Montalban also starred in radio, such as the internationally syndicated program Lobo del Mar, Seawolf, in which he was cast as the captain of a vessel that became part of some adventure at each port it visited. This 30-minute weekly show aired in many Spanish-speaking countries until the early 1970s. Montalban also got television movies. Montalban guest starred in Felony Squad, Ironside, It Takes a Thief, The High Chaparral, I guess. He did the TV movies The Pigeon, The Desperate Mission, playing Joaquin Murrieta, and Blackwater Gold. He had a supporting role in the big screen film version Sweet Charity. Montalban was in The Name of the Game, Gunsmoke, Dan August, Bracken's World, Marcus Webley, M.D., The Virginian, Doris Day Show, Sarge, Nichols. He did the TV movie The Aquarians, Face of Fear, and Fireball Ford. and features Devil's Backbone, Escape from the Planet of the Apes, Conquest of the Planet of the Apes, The Train Robbers. Montalban continued to guest star on shows like O'Hara's U.S. Treasury, Here's Lucy, and Griff. In 1972, Ricardo Montalban co-founded Screen Actors Guild Ethnic Minority Committee with actors Carmen Zapata, Henry Darrow, and Edith Diaz. In 1973, he returned to Broadway for a revival of Don Juan in Hell. He did the TV movie Wonder Woman in 1974, Mark of Zorro 1974, McNaughton's Daughter, I hope I pronounced that right, in 1976, and guest starred on Switch and Columbo. I don't know if any of these are even popping for you. Some of these I actually know, but I don't know if any of these are popping for you, Foodie. I hope they are, but I still like going through the history of Ricardo Montalban. I tried to do videos in the past like that were this instead of me just reading off Wikipedia. I actually built things full. I actually made full things. That's how I got a copyright claim, and that was my first copyright claim for my best one I ever did, where I was going over Margaret Rutherford. One of these days, I'm just going to start doing live streams of actors from the past that people really need to look at. 1975, he was chosen as television spokesman for Chrysler Cordova. The car became a successful model, and over the following several years was heavily advertised. His mellifluous delivery of, and I cannot pronounce words, a line praising the soft or rich Corinthian leather upholstery. The car's interior, often misquoted as fine Corinthian leather, became famous and was much parodied. Montalban subsequently became a favorite subject of impersonators. For example, Eugene Levy frequently impersonated him on SCTV, as did Dan Aykroyd on Saturday Night Live. In 1986, he was featured in a magazine advertisement for the new Chrysler New Yorker. Montalban is in One Ton Ton, The Dog Who Saved Hollywood, okay, and Joe Panther, and had a regular role in short-lived series Executive Suite in 1976. He guest starred on Police Story and did TV movies Mission to Glory, A True Story, 1977, Captain's Courageous, 1977, as well as the miniseries How the West Was Won. Now we're getting to stuff that more people know him for. Yay! It's Ricardo Montalban and Tattoo. Montalban is best known for his television role. Best known television role was that of Mr. Rourke on the television series Fantasy Island. He played from 1977 till 1984. For a while, the series was one of the most popular on television, and his character, as well as that of his sidekick Tattoo, played by sorry, Herb, I cannot pronounce your last name, but became popular icons. Another of his well-known roles was that of Khan Noonien in Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan in 1982, in which he reprised the role which originated in the episode of Star Trek Outer Space Seed. In 1967, early rumors suggested Montalban wore prosthetic muscles on his chest during filming of Star Trek II to appear more muscular. Director Nicholas Meyer replied that even in his 60s, Montalban, who had a vigorous training regimen, was one strong cookie, and that his real chest was seen on film. Khan's costume was specifically designed to display Montalban's physique. Critic Christopher Noll called Khan the greatest role of Montalban's career. New York critic Pauline, I can't pronounce that, sorry, said Montalban's performance as Khan was the only validation he has ever had of his power to command the big screen. Montalban agreed to take the role for a significant pay cut since by his own admission, he relished reprising the role. Go away. And his only regret was that he and William Shatner never interacted. The characters never met face to face except through video communication, as their scenes were filmed several months apart in order to accommodate Montalban's schedule for Fantasy Island. When Montalban guest starred in the Family Guy episode McStroke as a genetically engineered cow, his character made several references to his role as Khan, and similar references were made in his role as Gutierrez in the animated series Freakazoid. Yeah. You wouldn't remember that one. After a cameo in Cannonball Run 2, Montalban had a guest role in Dynasty, which led to a regular role in its spin-off, Colby's. Montalban played the villain in, this you have to recognize, The Naked Gun from the Files of Police Squad. Please tell me you remembered Naked Gun. You should be ashamed of yourself if you don't remember it, old man. And guest starred in B.L. Stryker, Murder, She Wrote, Hearts Are Wild, and The Golden Palace. Wait a second, wasn't that the... Yeah, that was the sequel series to The Golden Girls. During the filming of the film Across the Wide Missouri in 1951, Montalban was thrown from his horse, knocked unconscious, and trampled by another horse, which aggravated his arterial venous, he had malformation, and resulted in a traumatic back injury that never healed. The pain increased as he aged, and in 1993 he underwent over 9 hours of spinal surgery that left his body below the waist impaired and requiring the use of mobility aids. Despite constant pain, he continued to perform, providing voices for animated films and supporting his Foundation. Filmmaker Robert Rodriguez created a role in his Spy Kids film series specifically for Montalban, which included the use of a jet-propelled wheelchair. He had another regular series with Heaven Help Us in 1994, but it only lasted 14 episodes. In 1997, Montalban sued the producers of Fantasy Island, claiming he was entitled to 5% of the profits. The producers claimed the show had lost $11 million. The matter settled out of court. Montalban also narrated several historical documentaries, including the Spanish version of the National Park Service History of I can't pronounce it. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I wish I could get these things to actually say it. I probably can. I just don't know how. Montalban had a supporting role in two big hits: Spy Kids 2, Lost Island of Dreams, and Spy Kids 3D. Oh, good Lord. Prior to his death in January 2009, Montalban recorded the voice for a guest character in the episode of the animated series American Dad, in which the main character, Roger, becomes the dictator of a South American country, according to executive producer Barker. It was his last role after the Ant Bully. I'm hoping you recognize some of the some of the, at least a few of the things he was in. I mean, you have to recognize Naked Gun, please. But there's a lot more that you can go through on here, and really, good lord, just the list goes on and on, and unfortunately, all right, we're going to skip to unfortunately his end. On January 14, 2009, Montalban died at home in Los Angeles at the age of 88, according to his son-in-law, Gilbert Smith. He died of complications from advancing age. The precise cause of death was revealed to be congestive heart failure. He is buried in the Holy Cross Cemetery in Culver City, California. In the film My Dinner with Hervé in 2018, Montalban was played by Andy Garcia. It's just, he's an awesome actor, and they're incredible voice, and I really hope you at least look him up a little bit, old man, because he really sold Wrath of Khan. But anyways, I guess I've bored anybody else here half to death with my reading of a wiki page of of Ricardo Montalban, but I think it's worth it. Well, anyways, yeah. If there's anything you want me to look up, I'll be more than happy to look it up. Well, hold on. There's one more thing that's a different one that still kind of relates to movies that are popping up. They're having anniversaries. I cannot spell. See if I can get. See if I can get this to pull up. Something that I guess we'll have to go with, unfortunately, Collider on this. But here we go. Poltergeist 4K UHD Blu-ray arrives this September. This was published 6 days ago by Matt Willie, I guess. A few months following its 40-year anniversary, Warner Brothers Home Entertainment announced that Tobe Hooper and Steven Spielberg's 1982 horror classic Poltergeist will be available for the first time ever in 4K resolution as both an Ultra HD Blu-ray combo pack and on digital on September 20th. Directed by Hooper and written by Spielberg, Michael Grass and Mark Richter, the iconic film sees a suburban couple named Steve and Diane Freely, played by Craig T. Nelson and JoBeth Williams, respectively, start to experience. Well, most people know the plot. Creepy clown. Although the one from Scary Movie was funny. That poor clown had an unhappy ending. But anyways, I know they're showing on this. I can't get it to pull up on. I couldn't get it to pull up in the search, but it's nice to see that is coming to Blu-ray. Yeah, I liked Poltergeist. It wasn't a great movie, but I enjoyed it. but it's also around where I'm at, and it's probably in theaters all over the country. There'll be some that'll have it. There is a little re-release in September for around the same time this Blu-ray hits of the movie in the theater for people to be able to watch it. So that's another one to look up. Also in December, they're around where I'm at, and maybe in other places, they're doing I think TCM. You know what? I'm going to TCM is doing a lot of stuff. I'm going to see if I can get it to pull up on the stuff they're putting in theaters right now, because you got later this year, like in December, you have It's a Wonderful Life, which is going to be in. Which is going to be released in theaters, so I'm looking for that. Releases. Going to Fathom Events. Alright, so we'll pull this up and we'll just go through what TCM is showing. And maybe something will catch your fancy, maybe something won't. I don't know, but there's a few things that might. I'm definitely going for Wrath of Khan 40th anniversary. Poltergeist, I'm not as head up about, but I may consider it. Ooh, now here's one. Damn, I may have to go to this one. In the Heat of the Night, absolutely awesome movie. Sidney Poitier, just absolutely awesome actor, and he's a person that I think he's still alive. He may not be. He's been on my list ever since I first saw him in Lilies of the Field when I was a kid, that I've wanted to meet. And then you got To Kill a Mockingbird 60th anniversary. You got It's a Wonderful Life. That's a schedule for this year of things to come. So this is definitely on my list for when they show it in October. I'm going to have to go on the 4th to see Wrath of Khan because it's the director's cut. Woohoo! So I get the good version. Anyways, well, I think it's about time I call the stream. I thank everybody who watched. If you would, please consider leaving a like. Maybe if you think I earned it, subscribe. I'm going to try to do more streams as I get trying to build up some endurance and pace myself, because starting basically the 2nd, I'll be doing regular weekly streams for about 8 weeks on just doing Rings of Power reviews, non-spoiler reviews. So on the first day, and probably the next couple days after, I'll be doing spoiler reviews. So yeah, if you would be so kind, please leave a like, maybe subscribe, and I will see you on the next stream. Have a pleasant evening day, or whatever it is for you.